Today, I'll examine the ethical challenges created by new technologies and consider how innovation is reshaping decision-making in modern business environments. We'll look beyond the excitement and efficiency that technology can bring and focus on the moral questions that accompany those benefits. How should organizations balance progress with responsibility? What obligations do leaders have to employees, customers, and society? The central focus is navigating the moral landscape of innovation so that business decisions remain thoughtful, accountable, and aligned with broader human values. Technology and ethics are inseparable because every business tool changes more than just a process. Automation and artificial intelligence can improve efficiency, but they can also affect people's livelihoods, challenge privacy, and shift power toward those who control the technology. That means leaders have to look beyond what a tool can do and consider what it should do and whom it may impact. Ethical judgment is now a core business competency, not an optional extra, for any organization adopting new technology. This slide highlights four central ethical challenges in artificial intelligence. First, privacy. Collecting massive amounts of data can blur the boundaries of consent, surveillance, and personal space. Second, bias and fairness. When algorithms learn from flawed data, they may systematically disadvantage protected groups. Third, automation raises questions about what happens to human workers and whether the economic benefits are shared fairly. Finally, accountability remains unresolved. If an AI system causes harm, we need to know who is legally and morally responsible: the developer, the organization, or someone else. Privacy in the digital age is not simply a technical concern. It is an ethical responsibility. Modern businesses may collect browsing habits, location, purchasing behavior, and biometrics, but the critical question is whether they should collect all of it. Informed consent must be meaningful, not buried in fine print. Organizations should also minimize data, sharing only what is necessary for a defined purpose. Selling information without explicit permission damages trust. And when a breach occurs, companies have a moral responsibility to protect the data they chose to collect. Algorithmic bias occurs when systems learn patterns from data that already reflects unequal treatment. AI is only as fair as the data and design behind it. In hiring, Amazon abandoned a recruiting tool that penalized resumes containing women's because it had learned from male-dominated historical data. Facial recognition systems have also shown substantially higher error rates for darker-skinned women in some commercial studies. And in lending, zip codes or other behavioral proxies can correlate with race, potentially contributing to unfair credit decisions. These examples show how bias can scale through automated systems. Automation does not simply eliminate jobs. It transforms them through three connected dynamics: displacement, reinvention, and transition. Some roles may disappear, while new technology creates others, making res-killing essential for workforce adaptation. Businesses have an ethical responsibility to actively manage this change, not just capture efficiency gains. That means communicating transparently and early, investing in training for displaced workers, and supporting an equitable transition through severance, ongoing assistance, and redeployment options. The goal is to make technological progress work for people, not leave them to manage disruption alone. As AI systems influence high-stakes outcomes, accountability becomes increasingly unclear. A decision may affect a loan approval, a medical diagnosis, or even a criminal sentence. Yet when something goes wrong, responsibility can be difficult to assign. The central issue is that no single party is clearly accountable. Engineers may be questioned about foreseeable harms, companies about due diligence, and regulators about rules that lag behind technology. The problem is compounded by the black box nature of deep learning, which can make decisions extremely difficult to audit after the fact. When evaluating a new technology, businesses need more than intuition or financial projections. Ethical frameworks provide a structured way to examine potential consequences before deployment. Utilitarianism asks whether the overall benefits outweigh the harm. Deontology focuses on duties and rights, recognizing that some actions remain wrong even when outcomes seem favorable. Virtue ethics considers whether the technology reflects the character of a responsible organization. Finally, stakeholder theory broadens the lens to include employees, customers, and communities, rather than focusing only on shareholders. Together, these perspectives support more balanced and accountable decisions. Regulation and corporate policy work together to shape how AI is developed and deployed. Government frameworks such as the GDPR establish expectations for privacy and user consent, while the EU AI Act classifies systems by risk and restricts certain high-risk applications. In the United States, executive orders are contributing to emerging guidance on AI safety and fairness. Companies also have responsibilities through ethics boards, independent algorithmic audits, and ethics by design. Responsible AI must be built into product lifecycle, not added only after problems emerge. This case study shows how an ethical framework can expose tensions that a purely business-focused analysis might miss. Facial recognition may reduce theft and make loss prevention more efficient, but the risks are substantial, especially when false positives disproportionately affect minority shoppers or make innocent customers feel watched. The resolution requires accountability, not just effectiveness. Retailers should disclose when technology is used, obtain consent, audit accuracy regularly, and set strict limits on how long facial data is retained. These safeguards help align security goals with fairness, privacy, and public trust. The key takeaway is that ethical technology leadership requires more than good intentions. Identify harms early, apply multiple ethical perspectives, and build governance through boards, audits, and policy. Most importantly, treat ethics as an ongoing process, because continuous review protects trust, reputation, and long-term value.